Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. Before we get into the information, we're going to do it really quickly here. I want to ask you guys to do me a favor. Can you leave a comment down below allowing me to know whether or not you're able to retain the information? And of course, whether or not it's benefiting you. Share your story right below the video if you've been following me for a while and you have a real appreciation for what it is that I'm showing you. Leave me a comment below. I've actually, inquired about, people's performance since learning the information here. And for some reason, the etiquette is just not there to let me know how they're doing. And even people that has, of course, asked for the template. No one says thank you. No one, responds back and say, hey, I am retaining the information and let me know how you're doing. So if you, the person that is listening to this and really is doing, of course, well with the information, leave a comment below. If you have any kind of like problems with it, leave a comment below. I want to know that too, because I want to make sure that I'm reaching those that has an appreciation for the content. So if you don't mind, share your story right below this video. If you have an appreciation for the content and what I'm delivering, let someone know how you're doing with it, okay? Because there's not many channels out here that's going to tell you what a trend is without indicators. They're not going to give you entry, of course, price entry techniques. They're fragmented in the, I guess, the delivery of their content. I'm trying to give you a holistic approach to trading where you can pull up a chart and immediately at first glance know what's likely. Okay. There's not a lot of channels that's doing that. So if you don't mind and you have an appreciation for the content, leave a comment below and let me know that you essentially find the information of some value so I'll better understand what it is that I could do to help you further your trading. All right, because I'm helping you. Leave a comment, help someone else. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Someone may want to ask you a question about what it is that you're, able to do with what you're doing. All right. So again, it's all about helping each other. It's not just me wanting anything from you. I can assure you, I'm trying to make sure that you're able to retain some information that can get your trading to where it is that you will want it to go. But for the mature individuals that don't mind leaving a comment, if you don't mind, take a moment, let someone know your story. Tell them how you're doing with it. All right. So this is the information. Now we kind of started this here. Okay. Started it here, 311. All right. This was before the FOMC. Told them they need to get back above there. And the chart looked like that. And I said, of course, here it is. Can the buyers fight off the sellers for the next 2 days? All right. So they managed to get back up. Knowing days and hours in advance where price should close would change how you trade. That's important that you know. That's what I do off screen. All right. Now, mind you, price was going up. All right. And then I gave you these targets because I'm telling you within the next 2 days. I said yesterday, can buyers fight off the sellers for the next 2 days? All right. Really important. So there's the targets. All right. Now, let's go and take a look here. Again, that's the same 311. Can the buyers fight off the sellers for the next 2 days? Here's the targets. And they made that first one. Now, this is when I made you guys aware of it because, again, it's easier to put the snapshot online. Really easy. So let's go up here. And then this is what you have here. All right, there's the targets. And then they made the second one. Now, we're going to talk about this third one. We're going to talk about that. But there's the first one. I made you guys aware of it in the video here. And of course, they still had these left. Now let's take a look at why they're turning around. Let's take a look at that information now. All right, so of course, first let me show it to you side by side so you'll know there's nothing funny going on with what I do. All right, so side by side, here's your proof. All right, so here's that information. Let me grab that really quickly here. All right, so here's your information side by side. Kind of there's the range. Let me just kind of do this. All right, so that's them coming outside of that range. That's them coming outside of the range, all before the market is, of course, done. All right, now these are the targets. Clearly, you can see that there. All right, side by side. All right, so now let's talk about what they're doing. Of course, they're still in the above the center of the scale. Now we can scroll this over. They had made it back above the upper part of the scale. Trend color kind of kicked back in, but then of course there's the range. And again, the center of the range is important, people. I gave you the ranges. Please trade with the ranges as well. You can tell they used the center of the range for support, ran back up, but then they came back under it. All right, so you should have known this was the target. There's a lot of price levels in between this target here and this one here. I didn't pick any of them, even with these prior pivots. I'm telling you that there's a target down here that they need to hit. And of course, they got there. Now, there's one more. There's one more. And we're going to take a look at how that worked. Now, here, again, off the center of that range, and there's your pop up. Or right back into that target, or well, playing the backside of it anyway, which is pretty much that range. Now, let's take a look at why it is that they're possibly doing this. All right, so now let's take a look at this daily. They made it through the first static level. So they made it through the first zone. So let's remove this. All right. You would go one tick outside that zone, by the way. So you would have your stop one tick here for that first zone for the move up, but they fell through that on Friday. Now, here is that second zone here. They came really close, but they didn't break it. So the zone is actually picking this up as well as that bar. Okay. They got beneath that no close here. This is a no close and it's the hard stop bar. It's both one and the same. The zone is picking that up, so they may not get that other target, may not. And they're pulling right back up on the upper part of the scale here. Now they've done this whole trend distance thing, and it failed. They've done this before, right? So they've done it before and it failed. We're gonna take a look at that 1 minute real quick, and then I'm gonna let you go. They've done it before. I don't like what's down here. I said it in the last video. They kind of leaned over, kind of the same thing they did here. Leaned over, put the 1-2, went a little bit, and then fell. Here we go. Leaned over, didn't give you the 1-2. Came right back down. If anything, one up, one back down. And then, of course, this is a pivot as well. So then they gave you the 1-2, went just a little bit, and then they turned. This is a no close bar. Clearly, there's the hard stop, but they have a trend here. All right. So can they do the trend distance, which would put them, they claim, really close to the center of the trend? That would put them here. All right. So you're talking about your risk being one tick outside the zone and possibly getting to here. All right. Now, again, show, just if you don't mind, show others that you're, of course, utilizing the information, and it'll let me know that the information is, of course, being obtained and utilize, because that's the whole goal. I don't know of many channels out here that's giving you framework, that's giving you targets, giving you trend, giving you the bar pattern, pretty much everything, but telling you exactly what price to enter in on. All right, so please help someone, or allow me to know that you're actually utilizing the content. It would be very useful to me as well. So they could possibly get here. Now, if they get here, clearly they're going up here. Absolutely. There's no question about it. I don't like what's down here. I don't. They pulled this stunt before. Okay. And that's the only thing that's concerning to me. So hopefully we can close above this no close bar here. Don't go and get that other target. Because if they come back and break this, yeah, they coming back down in here, and if they get here, I can pretty much bet you, because I told you that they will lift before they get here. I told you that, and I was hoping that they wouldn't be asinine about it and come up too high, but that's what they're doing. So we'll see what that looks like. Now, for the 1 minute chart, let's take a brief look at that information, then I'll let you go. All right. So 1 minute before 9:30, here's your range, and clearly they made that trend distance there. And then let's try to get to that 9:30. There's the center of the range. Now you can put in the chart scale. Okay. There's the upper part of the scale, the center of the scale, the lower part of the scale. And I'm gonna just kind of scroll it forward. The chart do adjust, but of course the scale do not. All right. They hit the center of the scale, still above the center of the chart. All right. They hit the center of the range. My apologies there. They hit the center of the range and still above the upper, well, the mid of the scale, turned around, went back to the mid of that downtrend, but made a trend in the process. All right, they made a trend in the process and didn't want to go down. So clearly they're going through that high, and they did that. So the only thing you can expect is the trend distance. So I'm, letting you know how much you can make. Okay, there's not many people that's doing this, giving you how much you can actually make and how to stay in the trade and get it to work. 9:30 comes in, right about here. Okay, here's your 9:30. There's not a downtrend in any of this. All right, any of these little drop, there's no downtrend. And so where are we at? We're above the upper part of the scale. Okay, they came down near it, took right off to the upside. All right, so even more so. All right, so here's a downtrend shortly after 9:30. It came down, went back to the center of the downtrend. Are we going to move down, or are they making a trend back up? And they did. They made a trend back up on this bar right here. It cannot be both. I keep telling you guys that it cannot be both. And so expect the trend distance. And of course, there you have it there. All right. So again, if you find the information of any use, I ask that you please, if you don't mind, leave your story down below. Just leave a comment. Let me know and let others know how you're doing with the information. If you want the chart template, if you don't mind, and I send it to you because I did make it available for you. You can get it for free, not the indicator, but the scale, the actual levels that's on the chart, and even the ranges. You can get that stuff for free. If you don't mind, I send the stuff to you. Just say thank you. Let me know that you actually appreciate the fact that I gave you something. It's just like the information that I'm disclosing here on the channel for all the mature audience that understands effort. All right. If you don't mind, let someone know how you're doing with the information, and it'll let me know too, and it'll be a motivating factor for me as well. All right. I wish you all the best with trading. Take care.